If you have an SMSF or have ever thought about using one to buy property, this video is for you. The government has just announced a ban on using your SMSF to borrow and buy residential property. And while the headline have made it sound like the door is already shut, it's not yet. But the window is closing, and I want to make sure you understand exactly what that means, what's still possible, and what you need to do right now if this affects you. So what is changing? The ban is on what's called a limited recourse borrowing arrangement, or LRBA, inside an SMSF, specifically for residential property. This is a structure many of our clients in the health, trade and property industries have used to buy investment properties through their super fund. The SMSF buys the property in a bare trust, and over time, the fund owns it outright. Under the new rules, once legislated and passes through royal assent in 45 days, new residential LRBAs will be prohibited. Importantly, if you own a property through your super fund, nothing changes. You're fully protected. So here's what the headlines are missing. The ban doesn't take effect immediately. Contracts signed before the legislation receives royal assent and grandfathered in, meaning they're protected. The window exists, but using it properly requires several things to be in place before you sign anything. Your SMSF needs to be established and compliant, your investment strategy documented, your bare trust structured correctly, and your signed contract in the bare trust name, okay? And then making sure that a licensed SMSF financial advisor confirm in writing that the investment is appropriate for your fund. So get any of these things wrong and the grandfathering doesn't protect you. A rushed, non-compliant transaction is far worse than a missed window. So here's the bigger picture. This policy is going to hurt renters, not help them. Every property an SMSF buys has to be a rental. Fund members can't live in it. So SMSF investors are not competing with first-home buyers. They're supplying the rental market, and removing them from the new build pipeline makes it even harder for developers to stack up on the numbers to proceed with their projects. We've seen this before. When APRA tightened investor lending in 2017, apartment approvals dropped 32%. That supply shortage is one of the key drivers of the rental crisis Australians are experiencing right now. This ban was not the product of a housing review or Treasury analysis. It was extracted by the Greens as a part of a budget negotiation. The fiscal impact is around 50 million over 4 years in a sector that manages over $1 trillion. The numbers don't make sense as a housing policy. One more thing I want to make sure with our clients are aware of is that commercial LRBAs are completely unaffected by this ban. That means that some trustees will simply shift to buying commercial property through their SMSF instead. Think industrial sheds, retail tenancies, office suites. And on the surface, that might sound fine, but commercial property at these price points carry materially higher risk, greater vacancies, more volatility, and higher loan rates. They also carry less liquidity when you actually need to access your super. So we'll be watching this closely for our clients and making sure any pivot is well considered and not a reaction. So here's what I want to land with you. If you have an SMSF and you've been thinking about buying a residential property through it, call us, contact us, chat with us. Don't wait until you've found the property. The preparation to happen first, okay? And then we can walk through exactly what's required. If you already own a property in your SMSF, you're fine, but let's make sure your fund is structured well for what's coming next, okay? And if you do sell the property, the inability to go again with an LRBA. And if you're not sure whether any of this applies to you, that's exactly the conversation we're here to have. Contact us and we can discuss from there.